Just because you're the first. It still says off the air.
It says live now.
It does it? Okay. Hi, welcome to the Friday Fanatic Takeover. My name is Amy, Prairie Terror 21 here on YouTube. And I heard a rumor that if you host a show here on Comic Book Fanatics, that you have to be the one drinking the beer. So, while Sunday nights are brought to you by Blue Moon, Friday nights are brought to you by Tank 7 from Boulevard in Kansas City, Missouri. Like I said, my name is Amy. My channel is Prairie Terror 21. You can also find me by that same name on Instagram. And just in case you were wondering, I am a Slytherin. And so now I am going to have everybody here on the panel introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Andrea. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm from Nerdlore. I can basically be found anywhere in Nerdlore right now. It's very new. So, yeah, it's all new. And Instagram is Nerdlore. That's mainly it, is YouTube and Instagram. And yeah, I'm a Ravenclaw.
Are you really?
I am. I am a Ravenclaw.
Why? What makes you say that?
Okay, did anyone ever get on that Pottermore website?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. That is how I know that I'm a Ravenclaw.
I would have thought Andrea was a Gryffindor. Okay, now I'm going to go to Millie.
Hi, everybody. My name is Millie Akers. My YouTube channel is Millie Akers. And my Twitter is Millie_Akers. Pretty generic. And I'm a Hufflepuff through and through.
Aww.
Awesome. Mercy is next.
Hey guys, it's Mercy here from Mercy's Little Show. You can find me on Instagram, same name. And I did a test, but I don't remember what it said.
Well, what would you, like, have you read the books and watched the movies? Like, what would you describe yourself as?
I never read the books, but I do have all of the movies. And if I can remember correctly, it was either Hufflepuff or Slytherin. I can't remember, but I think it was
I think you're too bubbly to be Slytherin.
I know.
We now know what Francesca thinks of me. Celia, you're up next.
My name is Celia. My channel is Funkmaster Celia, and that's where I am on Instagram and Twitter. What were the other? I have a channel. Was that there? And then, I can't remember. I thought there was something else, but I would say I feel like I'm a Hufflepuff by day and a Slytherin by night. Like,
Go.
Certainly my favorite answer. And the wonderful Amanda.
Hey guys, my name is Amanda. My YouTube channel is Nerdy Girl Collections, which you can also find me on Instagram by the same name. And I'm ashamed to admit I have never seen any of the Harry Potter movies.
We will fix that by the end of this.
Yes, I know.
You've seen the meme on Tumblr, like, pulls out PowerPoint, like, I've been waiting for you to ask.
I'm all ears.
That's me, exactly. Francesca, Celia, and I have had the opportunity to be on Comic Talk Live on Sundays. We would like for things to be just a little bit different here. They talk a lot about older books and collecting key issues and things like that, but I would like to hear from all of you, what are your current, like, must-have pulls? If you could only have just 2 or 3, and I know most of us have sort of cut our pulls quite a bit, but if you could only have 2 or 3, whether you collect single issues digitally or like hard copies, what would they be? And I'll start with Mercy.
I'm sitting over here trying to think. I'm like, me and my husband were talking about that the other day too. And, the ones that, like, I would have to pick that I can't get rid of would be Figment, like Figment 2 right now. Man, where's my box? Because I'm like way behind on my books right now though. So, there's a
Same.
lot.
I have like 6 weeks of pulls I haven't read.
Because I don't think other people know who I am. Is that okay?
Oh my God, Francesca!
Oh.
Shame on you, host. See,
Like,
it's because I'm a Gryffindor. It's because I'm a Gryffindor that she did that. All right, guys, hi.
oh my gosh, like that, like Osseo beer. Like I need to be like, what? That's terrible. Marty's never done
I'll
that.
make this easy for you.
Yeah.
You guys can find me on
Marty's
Twitter.
never forgot me, Amy.
You guys can find me on Twitter at the Cheska. I am also on Instagram at the same name, at the Cheska, but that's mostly just pictures of animals and alcohol and sometimes other things. But I also have like a collectible Instagram, which is Cheska Collects, and then I do have a YouTube channel. I've not been quite as active, but there's definitely some stuff on there, and it's just my name, which is Francesca, and then Bologna, even though it's spelled like Bologna, B-O-L-O-G-N-A. So that's me. Hi.
Well, since I forgot you, and since Mercy can't remember and she's behind on her pulls, what are your? I know you collect digitally, correct? Like you
Yeah, I
collect...
mainly read digitally, and then anything that I super love, I will rebuy in like a collected format. So what was the question? Like, what do I absolutely
What's like your
have to have?
yeah? Like what are your must-haves right now?
So definitely, okay, so Image, it's like Saga, Velvet, Rat Queens. What else do I get that like I absolutely have to have? Captain Marvel, so any kind of like iteration, whether it's like the Quero Cord, the new one that just came out. What else do I get? I've dropped a lot of the X-Men titles. I was reading like All New X-Men and Uncanny X-Men, but that was just going down a rabbit hole, so I stopped collecting that. Definitely, I was the new Thor. I really love. Are we allowed? I should ask this. How are we gonna handle like spoilers? I don't want to call her Lady Thor because the new Thor has been amazing and with the new iteration. I love Hellcat that just has been coming out. Black Canary.
I do too.
You're gonna agree with that. Yay! Batgirl, Batman. I've really cut back actually a lot because I do rebuy so much of it. When I'm trying to look Shudder, I read that. I think those are kind of like my must-haves. I can look really quickly on here to make sure there's nothing I've forgotten. But I think that's really kind of it. Definitely, I would say definitely my #1 favorite comic right now is probably Saga, though.
I feel so like the worst collector in the world that I haven't gotten there.
Gem and the holograms.
Oh, I have a friend that's super into Gem and the holograms and who's trying to get me into it, but I just am on that DC life right now. Amanda, what about you?
Harley Quinn and Suicide Squad for me. And I am behind, but I'll catch up.
Andrea, you're a newer collector. Do you have anything right now that you, like, when you know it's going to be in your pull box that you just absolutely live for?
Yes. I know right now Jim Henson, the Storyteller, the Dragon thing. Very excited for that. That's like a newer one that's just come out recently. Celia turned me on to that one. Most of my things are heavily Celia like inspired, so we're just gonna get that out of the way because Celia got me started on it. And then I'd have to say Doctor Strange and Black Magic probably.
Yeah.
Millie, what about you?
Daredevil, obviously, big Daredevil fan. Doctor Strange, I agree, it's a really great book. Miss Marvel, I love Miss Marvel. New Thor, Mighty Thor is great. I really like Midnighter and Grayson from DC. Those are like my main 2 DC books. Copperhead from Image Comics, The Paybacks from Dark Horse, Saga, of course. And I'm really enjoying the new Archie as well. Those are pretty much my main ones that I really enjoy every time I get them.
And the Funk Master herself, what about you?
Well, actually, Mercy, did you have books that you wanted to share? I know you just stepped out for a second. Did you want to go ahead and share the rest of your books?
No, you can go ahead and first. I can finish after you.
Okay. For me, God, it's Paper Girls, Doctor Strange, Black Magic for sure. I really love that. Zodiac Star Force is one I really love. I'm actually really, really into the Starfire book now that I've caught up with it. I'm really loving that character. She's super fun. I know there's more. My bank account will tell you there's more. I read the first Vision book, the one that just came out, and that one was surprisingly good, so now that they're going to take more of my money, and yeah. Yep. Oh, the Jim Henson's, the Dragons one, I'm excited for the next one of those because each one of them is so different. I think that they're doing the same thing they did with the Witches, and they're having different artists and writers for each one of the books, so I want to feel like I can't miss one because I'm so excited about it. And then Toil and Trouble is one I really liked too. And Super Zero, I can't wait for the next one of that. The first one was super fun to read. So I think that I'll probably think of other ones, but those are the ones right now that are just like, yeah.
Mercy, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to skip over you.
That's okay. Okay, so of course, there's the Spider-Woman one. Of course, everybody knows I'm pregnant and she's pregnant, so you know I have to read it. So, there's also Judge Dredd and Paper Girls also. That's mostly what I can think of right now.
For sure, mine is Paper Girls. That was from Celia, actually turned me on to that one, and Black Canary. I just did a whole video about how I just ridiculously love her. And I also really love Spider-Woman. I wanted to love Silk so much, and I just am not able to get into it. But I also really liked, I really like Laura Croft and the Frozen Omen. That was something that really surprised me. I wasn't really anticipating loving that one. I was like, oh, I'll pick it up and see. And then it didn't make it into my pull list one week, and I was like, excuse me, what happened with my Laura Croft? So yeah, those for me for sure. But I am on such a. Was that me echoing?
No, that was me. I'm
sorry. I was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, that was. So right now, those would probably be the ones that I really am. Oh, The Walking Dead. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that one. But yeah, for The Walking Dead for sure. Those are the ones that I really. Those are my must-have current pulls. I want to talk a little bit before we get into some other sort of fun stuff. I want to talk a little bit about for you as I really love, if you saw my video, I really love origin stories. I really love talking about them. So I would like to kind of hear from each of you, and I think other people would too, because female collectors obviously are not an anomaly. There's plenty of us here, but sometimes it's an anomaly to have us all together like this. I'd like to sort of hear how everybody's story, like how you got started in collecting, and I don't care who goes first, but if I'm the oldest, and if I have to call on you, it's gonna be in trouble. So I'd like to hear from somebody how you started collecting, and like where you sort of see yourself going with your collection, if you see yourself going anywhere with it, honestly. Anybody?
Go ahead. I still have food in my mouth.
Who wants to go?
Andrea, go ahead.
Okay, I totally got in because Celia, because I've had a beauty channel and she had a beauty channel, and then she stopped and she started doing comic stuff, and so we talk a lot and she talked to me about stuff, and then I went into my local comic shop and was like, hey, I want to get into comics, and they were like, cool, and they spent a lot of time with me, like going through stuff I might like. You can start with this, you can start with that, and it kind of just took me to like inspire most of my purchases, but here and there when I'm just looking around, I'll find something that I like. So it's I mean, it's still like ongoing for me, so I'm very new into it.
But I always think that's so fun to find somebody who's new, and then you're like, here, let me show you everything that there is to show.
Especially because you don't have to like dig around through some of the garbage to get to like the really good stuff. Because you have so many people that can be like, hey, check out this series that's been out for like a year, and you can read it in like trade form and then catch up with the rest of the people. I think that's awesome.
Right, Millie, how about you? How did you get started?
I actually kind of got started both through video games and the movies. I played the Fables, The Wolf Among Us on the Xbox, and I absolutely love the characters and the universe and kind of the whole mythology behind it. So I read a little bit of the Fables comics digitally, and then I saw Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and I fell in love, and I was like, I need more of this. I absolutely need more of this. So I kind of went into a little bit of Captain America, and then through Tumblr I found other people that were posting comic-related stuff, and so I was reading some of the stuff they were posting, and then I found Daredevil, and that kind of just like amped it up to a whole different level. Pretty much collecting Daredevil, reading it all, and kind of just grew from there. Just reading everything I can get my hands on.
Amanda, how about you?
Through my boyfriend, actually. He's super big into Marvel and Spider-Man, and when I first met him, he showed me his comic book collection, which was huge, and I had bought him the game Injustice for PlayStation, and through playing that, I realized, the DC characters, and that's how I found Harley, and he was like, I can take you to the comic book shop, and we can get you some books, and just the first few books, I was hooked like that. Now I have, a few different books I get each week, and I can only see myself collecting more and more.
Mercy, how about you?
My husband, when he started collecting, he had like a little box, and I was never into comics or anything like that. But when I met him, we got married, he showed me all of this, and I thought it was funny, at the time. And we went up to Phoenix, and we went into a comic shop. And that's where I first bought my first comic, and I was hooked after that. So, he showed me all of his, and I was like, because I bought it, I was like, okay, if he's gonna, might as well see what the whole deal is. And I bought my first comic, which is the Wonder Woman Annual number 7. And when we came home, he showed me all of the ones that he had in his box, and he's like, "Here, look what you're missing out on," And after that, I bought a reprint of the Wonder Woman number 1, the New 52 one, and from there I just started buying more and more and more.
Cheska?
So I'm the oldest. I have 2 younger brothers, but I have an older cousin. So when I was growing up, he was a huge X-Men fanatic, and I remember being like really, really into the series, like the Claremont Lee run. Like I remember reading some of those issues, falling in love with like Jean Grey and Storm and Kitty Pryde. And then you go to school, you go to high school, and you just kind of end up falling out of some of these things because life gets in the way. And then I remember, like, I was actually really big, well, I still am, but I was a really big gamer first. And kind of the same thing, I just, being around that kind of culture, I started to read a couple more comics, mainly, like, Omnibus. And then from there, actually, before, like, all this craziness, I was, like, collecting the smaller Kotobukiya statues, which then moved to, like, big sideshow statues, which then moved to just collecting, like, anything that... So where do I see myself in a couple years? Probably buried somewhere with all these books because they're going to fall on me, and hopefully my cats will be with me because I can't live without them, but that's kind of where I am. And it's hard to, like, you tell yourself you're going to stop, and it's hard to do that because you keep getting encouraged by other people.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if it's ever going to be a hobby that I can really tear myself away from. I want to, I want to be like you, Amy, when I grow up. That's what I want to be.
Oh, no, you don't. No, I am not in any way #goals at all. Let me tell you. Celia, how did you get started?
my uncle had a bunch of comic books at my grandma's house, and we used to have to go spend long, long times at my grandma's house. So it was either that or Reader's Digest. And so I chose the comic books. And my brother and I used to read them quite a bit when we were little. We would get them here and there. Definitely nothing like collector-wise, just for fun. And then I stopped, and then I started picking stuff up when there was a couple of Jim Henson books that had came out, some adaptations from the movies that I picked up, and then I got those, and then I just kept getting me into the comic book store, and every time I would go in, I would find something else, and then that's just kind of how it started for me. And then I just decided recently to start a channel, because in my life I don't have a lot of dialogue about comic books with anybody. Like, my husband doesn't read comic books at all, and he like barely puts up with me when I start talking about it, because he loves the shows. And then when I'm like, you don't even, and he's like, just stop, I don't want to hear this, like, go look at the show about it or something, like, so yeah, so that's why I started, and just to share and talk with everybody, and I've learned so much now, and makes me wish that I had gotten into it earlier, because it's so much more fun to collect when you have people to share with than when you're, by yourself. So.
That's one of my favorite things when you started your channel. I knew Celia from different beauty communities, and when she started her channel and I would comment and saw that she collected. It was a whole other level of our friendship. Like, we had, we knew each other and we were friendly, but it was a whole other level of being able to share in that kind of, like...
That's not normally what you start out with when you're in a conversation with other people, because typically they look at you like, blink, blink.
Exactly.
Like, that's not my leading point when I'm
Right.
Blink,
like,
blink.
Hey, what kind of blush are you wearing? And by the way, I still have all the original He-Man characters. Like, you don't ever, like, that's, like, typically not.
No.
Typically not how you start out. My story is very simple. It is really not that interesting. I was a Wonder Woman collector from a very young age. People would always get me Wonder Woman stuff, and people would go to different comic book stores and find old back issues of Wonder Woman, and they would bring them to me. When I was much younger, my parents were in the military. We were stationed in Italy, and there wasn't a whole lot to do there a long time ago on the military installation. But every week, if I was good at school, I would get to pick a prize, and I always picked comic books, and it was Archie and Jughead were like those were my ones that I loved, and I was 4,000% sure I was a Veronica, but I was actually a Betty, and and that was how it got started. I wish, of course, I still had some of those, but I don't, and then it just sort of has escalated. I think comic collecting was one thing, and then it sort of opened up to kind of more of just sort of just a general sort of nerd life. Star Wars, Harry Potter, all the different universes that are going on. Like, I try to dip my toes in all of them, and then just sort of find what I sort of like identify with. And so mine, not supremely interesting, but there it is. Okay, I know that from everybody's channels that I've seen, we all love different kinds of collectibles. A lot of Funko lovers here, a statue collector, a statue dreamer, and because I don't own any, but we've got the DC subscription box that's coming out. Marvel has one. Star Wars has one. What are you looking forward to? What collectible is sort of like a holy grail collectible for you right now? And this is, I'm not going to call on anybody, just tell me.
Actually, there's a question in the chat. So Lords of the Long Box That's the question. It says, ladies of the long box, which I'm not sure is entirely appropriate, and if you're referring to it, I would like to be considered a short puck.
Seriously.
Do you consider yourself a collector or a female collector? Well, I don't collect females. I collect comic books. I'm going to throw that out there. And do you consider yourself categorized as female collectors? So
I consider myself a collector that is female. I do think that there are specific distinctions about female collecting. I certainly feel like in general, we know for sure we see this in the gaming community. I think we see it a little bit in certainly in the comic community a little bit, where we sort of have to prove that we're legit about our fandoms, right? That we're serious, that sort of thing. I'm really proud to be a female collector. It's not anything that I feel ashamed about, and I don't feel like I have to make the distinction like, well, I'm just a collector. I'm not a female collector. Like, no.
Drinking whiskey and smoking a cigar.
Right. Like, I'm not going to go put on my ascot and my smoking jacket and be like Thurston Howell III from, Gilligan's Island. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, I love makeup. I love, being a girl, and I love high heels. And what also happens to be really a huge part of my life is this, And so that, at least for me, that is, how I feel. Ladies, weigh in, please.
Oh, I absolutely agree with all that. I think that I also consider myself a collector. I think the fact is this, it is a little bit harder sometimes for us, just because, like you said, people, they think just because we have boobs and we have a vagina, like, we have to like certain things, and that's not the case. Like, I don't have to act a certain way to like comics. Like, I can like Batman just as much as you. Like, I think but I don't have to categorize myself as a female collector. Just like, you hear it all the time. You don't categorize yourself as a male collector. You don't say, hey, I'm a male gamer. Like, I don't have to say, hey, I'm a female gamer. It's that categorization.
I do think the way we talk about things are different. At least I feel that way. I mean, I don't know about anybody else. Maybe somebody's had a different experience, but I do feel like the way I talk to Celia and Andrea and to Cheska about collecting and stuff, I do feel like the language is different in the way I interact with other women in the community.
But that's normal. Like,
yeah.
That's just the way, we're going to be, I think, in general, we are going to be more comfortable, and we have more to relate to because of just what, we're women.
Right.
There are a lot of things that we're going to share that we like. Just like on the mail chat, for example, they talk, about bondage covers and boobs and, things like that. That would be like us talking about penises and bondage covers and the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Hunky men.
I think that there's also, like, it's difficult when you're talking with male collectors sometimes because they either get really weird and they don't want to talk about, like, the things that attract them to comic books or whatever, and they're like, they don't want to talk about Power Girl's gigantic boobs. And you're like, or you know what I mean, or whatever, they kind of tiptoe around it, or it's the total opposite, and then they do. And it's like, it's hard to have a conversation with somebody that looks at you as a female collector. Like, if we could just, like, I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's like, I feel it when I talk to people, especially at, like, the comic book store. Like, I can tell if someone is talking to me, if they are trying to hit on me, or if they are wanting me to move so I can they can get to a book. Like, that's usually the only interactions that I get out, like, socially with people, like, just running into somebody. They're either terrified or I don't exist. So there's a few that aren't like that. I'm not saying that every guy I have contact with in my comic book store is like that, but those are some of the experiences that I've had in person with people.
I think one of the things, especially in watching, because I've seen videos on everyone's channel, and I think I'm subscribed to everybody here. One of the things that, like, I don't comment this because creeper, but, like, I will watch y'all and I will be like, hi, I'm here. Like, this is what you can, look, at 40, you can still do this. I like desperately want to say like I see you and thank you for, you know, for being so like authentic about, you know, who you are, like, you know, as a collector. I think I love that. You know, I love to see that happen because there is a certain. I'm really fortunate at my local comic shop. The owner's wife, she's always the person that handles my pull. Her name is Karen, and I was like, "Are there any Walking Dead variant covers?" She was like, "Oh, look what I have!" And she had a whole stack of them, and I was like, "What? Like, you know, I was so excited because, you know, she sort of feels that too, and we were talking about that, and she was like so excited for this to happen because she was like, she told me a story that one time her husband was sick, and so she was just working the register and working at the shop, and a guy came in and goes, "Oh, he's not here?" And she was like, "Well, is there anything I can help you with?" "Well, no, I have a question." What?
No.
Like, I would have been like, "Oh, I'm sorry, the cover price is $27.99. Whatever he was buying. I wouldn't care what it was if it was from the 25-cent box. Like, no, don't underestimate my intelligence just because you think he knows more than me. So, anyways, oh, collectibles. Does anybody else have anything to add about the female? Do you think you're a female collector, Millie? Amanda, anybody?
I definitely consider myself a collector who is female. I think there's a difference kind of between saying female collector and a collector who's female. I mean, I enjoy reading books. I love it. It's part of my life. I enjoy going to the comic book store and getting my books. And luckily, my comic book store, most of the men there are really, really nice and encouraging and just very welcoming. And my comic book store owner, him and his wife both own it, and they're very nice, both of them. So I'm very lucky in that way that I have a comic book store that's safe and comfortable. But yeah, I definitely consider myself a collector who's female. I enjoy books.
Do you ever have, because I know that you're like a tremendous like ride or die for Daredevil, and so do you find that if you come across any guys that are super big Daredevil fans, do they sort of like question your, I don't know how to say this, do they question your like authenticity in terms of your own like fandom for Daredevil? Has that ever happened to you?
I don't think it has happened yet. I always expect it to happen, especially through comments on YouTube. I always expect to get, whether it be a troll or just someone that's genuinely being mean, I always expect that. But I'm like, hey, I got a Daredevil tattoo. Just show it to them and be like, I'm authentic.
That's hardcore.
I haven't experienced it yet, but I always expect to.
Somebody in the chat said, "Ladies, my daughter is really getting into collecting. What are some of your first series you collected?" I came home to her rifling through my collection and pulling out X-Men hand over fist.
So I replied to him. I told him that besides like what I explained earlier, comic-wise, I'm sorry guys, I have to take my husky out in a second, but actually Fables is what really got me back into like the comic world. Like I just, fairy tales growing up were one of my favorite things. So seeing an adult version of that was just fantastic. So that would be my recommendation if, she's old enough.
Hey, real quick guys, can you see me?
I can see your thumbnail.
Okay.
Oh, I can see you now.
Yep.
Okay, because my husband was just telling me he can't see me, so I just wanted to make sure.
Well, it kind of bounces back and forth depending on who's talking. Could he not see? Oh, you're black. It's black now. But there you are. You're playing tricks.
Now you see me? No, you don't.
Trixie.
Right.
I think it's hard to jump in with I think Marvel and some of the bigger Marvel and DC books because of the crossover stories, and I think it can be really overwhelming. So if she likes the character like Batman, I would just look, like I really enjoyed like the Long Halloween and like other like series, like other arcs. So maybe instead of just jumping right into like the series that are coming out in the comic book shop, maybe go and get an older arc and start with those, or Yeah.
Well, and like if X-Men was what she was interested in, like what's relatively new that she could start like her own collecting, like the all new Wolverine, you know, like things like that that are still newer that you can still find in your comic shops that can sort of be her own thing, whatever she's into, like, or trades. Half price books is like a great place to go and find like trades and back issues that aren't going to cost a ton of money, that she can sort of figure out for herself where is that going to be, you know, for her. That's what. And my first thing that it's right back here is those were the first thing that I ever really collected were these Star Wars like trades. Not really trade paper, but I remember that I got them at the Scholastic Book Fair after Return of the Jedi. What? So, yeah. And yet, Lords of the Lombok says depending on his daughter's age. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Depending on the daughter's age. Because Paper Girls is what's up. Hi, big puppy. Hi, little puppy. Okay, I got him. On to, what else were we talking about? Were we talking about collectibles? I have no idea. I've lost track of the show. I've lost all control.
I think that's what the last thing was what you collect. You just had mentioned that people were collecting boxes and Funko Pops.
Yes, like, so what is the thing you're most looking forward to, or your next big purchase in terms of a collectible that's not a book?
Not so much a big purchase, but they're coming out with a new line of Daredevil Funko Pops, which I'm really excited about. I'm gonna get them all. Maybe not the Wilson Fisk, but maybe. They're coming out with like different Matt Murdochs, so I'm really excited about that. A big thing that I really want is actually a Bucky Barnes Captain America statue, but they're going for some crazy prices right now that I cannot afford, so I'll have to save up some money to get one of those, but it looks so cool, and that's one thing I would really love to have. So definitely those two things.
Are you excited for the new season on Netflix?
Yes, I'm so excited. Oh gosh, I'm even more excited too that they're going to be doing a Punisher spinoff series. I heard that they thought John Bernthal did such a good job that they are already doing a spinoff series for him. So I'm really excited.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be awesome.
Celia, I know you're a massive Funko Pop collector. What are you looking forward to next?
They're releasing a second wave of Harry Potter Pops, which have Dobby in them, and I'm very excited about that. I collect all kinds of stuff. Like, I have like Pez dispensers and Funko Pops, random 90s things. I have so much crap. So, I mean, my big thing that I want a freaking Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper. That shit's going for like $250 on eBay.
Is it really?
I want one
Lisa
so bad. I keep
Frank.
trying to buy it, and I can't get a damn Lisa. I want the one with the whole, you know what I'm talking about, the brown horse with the roses in her hair and all the stuff in the back. That's what I want. And I can't get it for less than $250 on eBay, so thrift store hunting I go. But
if anybody ever sees the Lisa Frank taco anything, taco print, I'm about that taco life, and I need it. You could even send me the JPEG. I don't even care.
JPEG.
Andrea, you're a newer collector, so do you have your eye on something in terms of like something outside of comics that you would like to get your hands on?
I just kind of want to get more fandom stuff just in general, like just to surround myself with, because I noticed that I don't buy things from fandoms that I really like, be that like Studio Ghibli or from video games or anything really. I don't buy any of it for some reason. I've just recently even started buying like t-shirts. I got this Zelda one very recently.
Nice.
So I just want to like start buying more things that I like that are nerdy. That's it.
So Amanda, huge Harley fan, huge Suicide Squad fan. Are you ready to be inundated with all of the marketing and all of the stuff all of the merchandise that's gonna be coming out?
Absolutely, and I'm also a big Funko Pop collector, and I'm looking forward to the Civil War Pops that are going to come out.
Yeah. Did you see that they're gonna have a glow-in-the-dark Batman and Superman exclusive coming out?
Yeah, Walmart, I think, right?
Why do they always have to be at Walmart? Like,
I know.
can we get some more Target exclusives?
I know.
Horrible.
Thank you to everybody who's being so sweet in the chat. I really appreciate it. I am looking forward to I'm definitely getting the DC box just because that's my whole life right now is the DC universe. So I'm gonna get that collector's box, and then anything that I have my eyes on the Bombshells, the Zatanna statue.
Yes!
That is sort of like
I can show it to you and entice you with it right now.
That's awesome.
Where's my credit card? I'm just start digging in my pocket. If you guys saw my first video, you know what I do for a living. I have to sell a lot of stuff to be able to afford that. That's like sort of my dream collectible. Also, I would love to get my hands on the Adam Hughes Zatanna. Like, it's a bust. I would love to get my hands on that one. But and in terms of Funko Pops, even though I feel like it jumped the shark, I really love like the Game of Thrones pops, and I would love to get my hands on Daenerys' 3 dragons.
Do you have them, don't you, Amanda?
I do, yes.
The metallic 3 colored ones?
Yeah, I got them for Christmas.
I'm like that heavy breathing cat meme. Like,
I can
what?
get it.
Like, what is happening? So I would love those, and there is the cutest, and I just need to go pick it up from GameStop, but there's the cutest Cinderella pop, and it's the shoe, and Gus Gus is in it.
I want that. That's so bad.
They're in a different room.
Like, I just saw it, and in GameStop, I'm like, oh, Gus Gus. Like, I immediately started acting just like I was 5 years old. Like, oh, please, let me have this. Like, dear Santa, Amy would like. Mercy, how about you? Is there anything outside of books that you are have your heart set on?
There's this Wonder Woman statue over at my GameStop that I would totally love. But like I collect everything. Like, of course, you guys seen my my videos. I've got a movie wall. I've got Mr. Minis. I got Funko Pops. But like I said, there's that statue over at the GameStop here in my town that I'm like.
Which one is she?
It's so bad.
Is she one of the Bombshells, or is she like one of the cover girls? You know?
It's the Bombshell one. And she's like, it's
with the chains that she's holding. This one.
I think this one's the chain.
Jessica just whips out.
I was like,
Bombshell.
Oh, you mean this?
I think that one is. Yeah.
This whole thing.
Right? It's like, hey.
This one's for Amy. I'll just replace my picture with this one instead. And I don't want to put it out, but I have Adam Hughes one too.
Nice.
You can't book ticket to the Bay Area.
Whoops, should not have disclosed my my location.
That's awesome. Do we have any?
Well, I'll show you guys. I'm gonna pull it up because it's hard to describe. But there's I've always been a huge fan, like I said earlier, of Jean Grey and the Phoenix. So I already have the Jean Grey. This is kind of hard to see, but.
What do you do for work, dude?
I work with animals. I'm a registered vet.
Oh, you didn't really. I didn't mean to make you answer your personal, but I was just like, those statues are so expensive. Like, I am so impressed.
Oh no, they absolutely are. But the cool thing is that there's like a payment plan, so you don't have to spend that huge bulk at once, and that's what's kind of helped. But they're coming out with one that's it's Dark Phoenix, and she's absolutely gorgeous. I'll see if I can
The one that I also really would love.
Stuff, and she's like this. Was that a really Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So I love her. I think
I saw that on Lose. I saw that on Lose.
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's definitely probably what I'm most looking forward to because it's just such an iconic character for me.
I want the Green Arrow, Black Canary that looks like the cover of their wedding issue.
Yeah. That's coming out.
Yes, I die. I saw that and I was like, how, like, does somebody owe me anything? Like, is there a hit? Like, I know somebody has to owe me something. My friend just texted me, the Zatanna statue is at my local comic shop. Girl, no. Girl, don't do me like that. I know what's at my local comic shop.
That's so awesome though that you guys have people that you know like within your town that also frequent the same shop. Like I don't have that here, so that's really
I don't
cool.
have that either.
Girl, I am in small town Oklahoma. The 5 of us that collect comics here, I just post on Facebook, hey, I'm going to be on the show tonight, and they'll tune in, and the other 3 that don't collect, that collect are working at my store right now, because, so I could host tonight. Okay, this is a question for everybody, and we'll go in the order in which we sort of introduced ourselves, so it's going to go to Andrea, and this is something that's really close to my heart is cosplay, and I don't care what character it is. I don't care if you want to like gender bend, gender swap, whatever. Money is no object. Who is your ultimate cosplay? Andrea.
That is so hard.
I know it is totally hard.
The only people I can think of would be like anime characters because I've watched so much anime.
You can cosplay as anime characters though.
Yeah.
You can cosplay anybody you want.
Okay, I'm gonna do probably Winry from Full Metal Alchemist just because it would be easy.
Well,
And
money's no
I can pull it
object,
off
girl.
pretty
I won the
quickly.
Powerball. I won the 1.5 billion. I give everybody on the panel all the money they need for their cosplay. So don't worry about it being easy. Okay, who's next? Millie.
I would actually really love to do a Billy Kaplan from the Young Avengers, his original costume from the first Young Avengers run. I love that costume, and if I could do that, that would be so cool.
Dude, you could rock that too.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a note to myself to start a GoFundMe for that costume. Mercy, go ahead.
Mine would have to be Spider-Woman right now because, of course, we're both pregnant. You know.
You can also be Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Right.
He just has a really big beer belly.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, like, now let's just everybody send Mercy like a Spider-Man t-shirt and like start her third trimester cosplay.
Right, yes.
Cheska, how about you?
That's actually perfect because I love the dynamic between Spider-Woman and Captain Marvel. Like, I think that I honestly would completely kickstart a book featuring both of them. So I would be your Captain Marvel, Mercy. We could we could totally do this.
Nice. Celia, you're up.
If money was no option, it's not really comic book related, but I would totally be Vanellope Von Sweets from Wreck-It Ralph and have the car. So cute. I'd love to have a little car too.
Kickstarter.com. Okay. And Amanda, how about you? I'm pretty sure we know, but I just want to hear you say it.
Well, I'm gonna throw you for a loop. If money was no option, I would do Zelda.
Yeah.
Andrea, are you giving a standing ovation? I just need to make sure.
I am. Like, oh my gosh, I should have thought of that because that would probably be what I would do too. That is perfect.
You can gender bend Link. You already have blonde hair.
Totally.
I could pull that off too. I'm good. You can be a Deku.
I've already done Bellatrix. I've done Harley. And then this year I'm doing, in 2 weeks I'll do Sheegan, the female Negan for The Walking Dead Return. And then, and I'm doing Zatanna this summer. But my big one, Halloween, I try to do something Harry Potter. And so this Halloween, I am actually going to be Nagini. And I'm gonna have green tracks and like a big green mohawk and a snakeskin dress made, and then like my face will be fully like textured snakeskin. So that's probably the one that I try to go like full out for. I mean, I'm gonna spend quite a bit for Zatanna, but the Harry Potter one, that's typically the one that I like to go like balls to the walls for. So.
Well, right now I'm actually in the middle of working on a cosplay because I'm going to Emerald City Comic Con. That's the first con that I'll ever be going to for all 3 days, and like waiting for signatures and stuff, and which I'm really excited about. So one of the days I decided that I wanted to do like kind of a play on Shikla, because I love her, and so right now I've been sculpting her little dragon bug. And it's been really difficult, and those cosplay people that are they are awesome. But my husband's gonna go, and he's gonna just wear the Deadpool mask, and then wear a shirt that says "I love my wife." And I'm just gonna dress up with like the makeup and have the bug and stuff, and have one that says like "I love my husband." So we're just gonna be the Deadpools on vacay, you know. Con.
That's sort of my favorite part about cosplay, is looking at a character and saying like, oh, how would I like interpret this for me, you know, like that's sort of what I really love to do. Like my Bellatrix is not her like exactly, but it's her if I had seen her story at Hogwarts. So it's complete Slytherin. She's totally like messy hair and like just she's still evil, but she's just more sort of like what I think she would be at that age. So that's my favorite part about cosplay. And I grew up with drag queens. I grew up in the LGBT community, and the drag queens really just showed me so much in terms of really reinventing a character to really suit who you are and like your own identity. And so that for me is really how I got started. Okay, so I have one more thing that I want to talk about, and I'm sure we all have opinions. Current shows that you are either watching, you're loving, what are you looking forward to, what would you like to see done differently?
Is this because of my text earlier?
I already had it. I already had it on the list because
we need to talk about the shows.
I already had it on the list because on the Sunday show, everybody was dogging Arrow, and I'm in like the early part of Arrow, so I don't know how terrible it's going to be, but I know that I enjoy looking at Oliver Queen quite a bit. And I don't mind objectifying him. I don't know if it's because like I'm into archery, like that's what I'm telling myself, like, oh, because I'm totally into archery. It's really not that deep or that serious. So I don't really know. So everybody's like sort of dogging Arrow. So I don't know how like sucky it gets or whatever. So I just kind of want to hear from everybody about like what should I watch, or what should everybody else watch, or what are you into? Somebody just go.
Flash.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, Flash is good. I watched the DC's Legends of Tomorrow. I watched the episode last night, and I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I like I don't want to, because I know it just came out, so I don't want to say too much, but I did really enjoy it. So that one was good, and I can't wait for Gotham. That one, this last season was so good that I am really, really excited for that. And we've been watching Arrow, and I like Arrow too.
I think the cool thing about Legends of Tomorrow is it seems like the cinematography, like I feel like they really stepped it up. It honestly looked better than Flash and Arrow, and I think it's just because they've had like years of now like at least 2-3 years experience with these other shows that they were able to apply it. But I thought it was great. I totally binge watched the 100 like within the last couple of months, so I was super excited about yesterday's premiere. And another show, Agent Carter, like I love Agent Carter more than like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Mm-hmm.
And another one that's kind of not, it's not like superhero-y, but I liked Quantico. I watched like that on Hulu. It's like an FBI kind of show. I just thought I like those kind of shows that end in like cliffhangers and you're like left, what the fuck's gonna happen, and you just have to keep watching all the episodes. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty far behind on all my TV watching. I just yesterday watched the first episode of Supergirl, which I really enjoyed. I'm really looking forward to watching more of that. Jessica Jones on Netflix. I binge watched it all in a day.
Yes.
So good. I loved it.
So good.
I absolutely loved it. And
I read a really great critical analysis of Jessica Jones, and I don't know if anybody else will agree, and I thought it was so spot on the way they said it, was that while Daredevil was all about like handing out punishment and like handing out pain, that Jessica Jones is really about surviving it. And I just thought, oh my gosh, like, yes, that's for me. When I was done, I thought, yes, that's exactly what I feel like it was. Did anybody else have that watching it?
definitely. I think the way they portrayed her PTSD especially was really well done. Especially, I have a family member who suffers from PTSD pretty badly, so seeing that portrayed in a TV show I just thought was so awesome, and it was so well done, and I definitely agree. It's more about surviving the pain and kind of getting through it and being stronger, and I loved it.
Yeah, I loved her thing with the streets. How she would go through the streets around her neighborhood. Every time she did that, I just felt like myself got really soft inside and super empathetic for her, and it was...
Yeah.
I love that.
And I love that she's so well known as a comedic actress, and we really got to see her so differently that it just, like, for me now, that's who she is, and I think that happens a lot when a character comes to life. You're like, oh, that's who it is right there.
Who's the male actor in that? The
doctor?
Yeah.
Jesus, I can't believe we're forgetting this. People are going to
David Tennant.
Yeah, David
Tennant.
He's in Harry Potter, too.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah, he,
I knew who that was, and
like,
because when we first watched it, he was like, hey, Doctor Who!
Where's the sonic screwdriver?
I have a sonic screwdriver that's a spoon.
Really?
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I have seen adult toys that are sonic screwdrivers. On Etsy.
That's appropriate.
Double entendre all day, baby. Anybody else have any shows that they're just sort of obsessed with, just really ready to nerd out about?
I'm obsessed with everything. I'm not picky with anything. I watch Supergirl. I watch the Daredevil. I watch the 100. Just yeah. I look for stuff that I really like, and
no other Walking Dead fans but me.
I'm so far behind on this. I was so far behind.
I really enjoyed Glitter Force on Netflix.
Yes.
Somebody that liked
I wanted to watch that.
I watched it. I mean, whatever.
Did anyone watch Lost Girl? Have you guys heard of that show before?
No.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
Have y'all heard of Nurse Jackie? It's really good.
I've seen it. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I saw it on Netflix.
Or United States of Tara.
Oh, somebody just said, anyone here watch Comic Book Men? And I love that one. There hasn't been another one out in a while, but that's Kevin Smith's show. It's his comic book store, and the guys that are in there, they are, they run the store, shows them, and then they're also on, a podcast together. Do you guys watch that?
I do.
Isn't that usually on after The Talking Dead, or not, The Walking Dead rerun? Right.
I don't watch
Usually it's on
Walking
a
Dead at all.
Yeah,
So
Queen's
I DVR Comic Book Men, so I don't know what it's on after. But I love that show. I think that it's really fun to see what they put in, and Kevin Smith is just hilarious.
I love
Yeah.
Kevin Smith.
I have such a soft spot for Kevin Smith. Which reminds me of Dogma, which reminds me of Alan Rickman.
Oh man, I thought of Dogma as soon as somebody said Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
I got fake
Alan
eyelashes
Rickman.
on. Let's not go there.
Yeah,
Is
I've got lashes on too. We can't go there.
Yeah. All of a sudden, everybody's like Patti LaBelle, like taking off their lashes. And
Oh, girl. It's hot, Cherie.
I don't even know that I don't even know that I have on mascara, to be honest. Been day drinking all day. My God, I love Cherie. Kevin Smith is
What
hot.
did Cherie say?
Kevin Smith is hot. You're right.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, was that I've been kind of bad about the chat. I haven't seen a lot of questions. Anybody see anything? Sorry.
Okay.
I found one. Do you want me to?
Sure.
Okay, so Jeff Johnson says, I know you're not supposed to ask a lady her age, but I'm wondering the age range of this group. Very versatile.
I'm 24.
Oh, boom! 24-year-old just pop it right off the collar like 24.
I'm 26.
27.
I'm 19. I think I'm the youngest here.
40.
Is that it?
Whose name is Harley Quinn?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I the only person not to answer?
Yeah.
And Lucy, but she just
4
dropped out. I think
times
she's
as cool
freaking.
as your average 8-year-old.
Patty, I still haven't tried that damn pie from JLS Comics. If you think I'm fighting people at Walmart over sweet potato pie when I know how to bake, it's not happening. It is like legitimately, I just am not that, it's not that serious for me.
But what about movies?
A moment of silence for Prairie. No, I'm proud to be 40. I don't
She
care.
looks amazing. Good for you, dude.
Yeah.
I have no problem. I had a worse time turning 31 than I had turning 40. So when I turned 31, I thought, oh, this is how it ends. This is what's gonna happen to me. There's nothing else in life is gonna happen. And now I'm 40, and I'm fine with it. Mercy, come back whenever you can.
Teach us your way, sensei.
Sunscreen and beer. Winged liner makes you look like your eyes are lifted. That's the end of that. So are there? Do you guys have any questions? I fangirl over a lot of you guys when I watch you guys. So do you guys have questions for any of the other panelists? Do you have things that that you would like to share, or questions for any of us, or questions for anybody that's in the actual chat?
Well, I was kind of curious about movies, because it's such a big year for for movies and stuff coming out. There's like one every single month. I was just curious what everybody's looking forward to now that Star Wars is done. I think that we can see what it is that everybody's looking for individually.
I'm pretty much.
Go ahead,
go
Millie.
ahead.
I'm sorry. I would say Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much looking forward to everything, I think. I'm really looking forward to Civil War. I'm really excited about that. Whenever Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 comes out, I'm really excited about that. Pretty much everything.
Doctor Strange, Suicide Squad.
Yep.
Strange.
What did I miss?
We were just talking
Movies.
about movies.
My phone restarted, so I got cut off. So I used it as like a potty break to go get something.
Totally understand.
I think probably X-Men, because I really liked the movies. Like I liked First Class, I liked Days of Future Past, so I'm really excited to see what they're gonna do with that. So besides, and I actually am excited for Batman Superman. I wasn't a huge fan of Man of Steel, but with this cast and what they're kind of bringing to it, I'm excited to see just how they are gonna, how it's gonna turn out.
I'm excited for that one.
Oh, me too.
Someone in the chat just asked, what do you think of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie coming out?
I'll be the jerk. I don't think about it ever at all.
The only good thing is Steve and Emil.
Yeah.
Casey.
I wish I could say that I wish I could fake that till I made it, but there was no faking that. I apologize.
I liked the first one. I thought it was really funny and stuff, but I just love the old school Turtles so much, like the old movies, that it was, the new ones were just kind of hard for me. Like I felt like they were hokey looking, not the ones that I love. Those ones aren't hokey. These ones are hokey. And I really didn't like the way this Splinter looked. Like he's scary and looks like an actual sewer rat. I want my Jim Henson Uppity guy back. Like, come on.
I'm sorry, if you're not gonna bring Vanilla Ice back, then just don't waste my time with the
Go Ninja, go! Go Ninja!
That's real talk right there.
That is. Got a side fade and steps like Vanilla Ice. What are you talking about?
I saw earlier that somebody had asked if, and it sounds like Mercy and I are huge Wonder Woman fans, how we felt about the new look of Wonder Woman, that it's not sort of what we're accustomed to. I personally, based on the Batman vs. Superman movie and the look of how like dark it is, I certainly enjoy the look. It doesn't bother me one bit. Now that we saw more of footage from her movie this week, and saw sort of that old school World War II look, I'm really excited about it. How does anybody else feel about that? Mercy? I'm looking at my roots. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, I was taking a drink. Like, I'm super excited. I know that there's gonna be costume changes and everything, and and there's gonna be something new, and sometimes they'll have something old. But to me, I like how I like people's ideas. You know what I mean? And like when I started liking Wonder Woman as a kid, I watched her off of the Justice League cartoon. So I was more into the cartoon than Wonder Woman.
Mhm.
More than what's coming out now. And I never watched the Linda Carter TV series, but until recently and everything. So I mean,
I think for me, I've just waited my whole life to see somebody do her justice.
Right.
And so for me, I'm like, I don't care. I mean, would I have liked to have seen the traditional costume? Yeah, sure. Is it the most practical thing in that universe that they've sort of created now in those movies? No, not really. Like, I have to pick and choose my battles, and if that means not getting a Wonder Woman movie, then I don't care. Put her in a trash bag. I still want to see her. Like, I was like, I don't care. It was the same thing. I think people were like, initially when Suicide Squad photos started leaking, people were like, well, that's not really Harley. I'm like, that looks like if Harley existed in 2016, that is what she would look like. And I was like, who cares? I don't need her to have no jester hat on. I want her to I don't care how many pom-poms she's wearing. Get her somebody good to play her. That was all I cared about.
I was going to say, it's cool that it's finally coming to the big screen, in my opinion, of Harley and Suicide Squad. I finally get to see it in the movies, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. What else is there's? When does the Preacher show come starting? When is that one starting?
Soon, I think, right? In a few months.
Yeah, it's on AMC. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read much about it online or any of the stuff. I just am kind of. I feel like sometimes when you read things online before shows come out that you get really kind of jaded by it, or that'll stick in your head when you watch it. So I try not to. I've only read a few of the Preacher comics, but I'm excited about that show.
Mm-hmm.
Did any of you guys ever read Why the Last Man?
I just recently read all of it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that it got picked up for a show too.
Mm-hmm. They said that there's a whole bunch of writers and producers and stuff that want to work on it, so it's likely that it'll get a show.
It's interesting that being that Brian K. Vaughan worked on stuff like Lost, it's interesting that he wouldn't be involved in that because I think it would be amazing. I don't know if you guys don't know, it's basically a a world where all the men are gone. There's one man left, and then the world's populated by women, and it's just about him trying to get back to his girlfriend, and the circumstances he comes along, he faces along the way, the friends he makes. It's an amazing. I think it's probably one of my favorite stories ever.
And they just picked it up for a show?
I think it got picked up. I think they had picked it up last year, but I think they're finally kind of getting things going. I think it's weird. I think I heard that it's going to be on Fox. I'm not sure, but
FX, I think. Yeah.
FX, okay.
FX, yeah. And also, he has a pet monkey named Ampersand. I think that's so funny. That he has just a pet monkey in the apocalypse. it's so
Here
awesome.
are all these women, this man and this monkey.
It seriously is kind of like that, though.
That's incredible. That sounds well, and I like when shows get picked up for on not really a major network, but on a cable network, because I feel like there's much more liberty in being able to sort of stay true to the source material.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is there anything you guys? Because now that we're seeing so many shows, so it seems like it's mainly DC and Vertigo shows, or more on cable networks, and then Marvel's kind of taking over the Netflix scene. Is there anything that you guys would like to see come out? I mean, because they're really expanding. We have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, The Defenders, Punisher. Is there anything you think that we, either may see coming up with more announcements, or anything that you guys want to?
I want to Judge Dredd.
That would be awesome.
Yes.
I would love to see Justice League Dark.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. I wonder
I would like to see that.
Something. I know that Spider-Man is owned by a different entity, but I think it would be kind of cool if they had some of those characters, or even if, since they're not bringing Miles into this universe, I think it'd be cool if we saw him, Spider-Gwen, Silk. I think it'd be cool if we saw them on the show. Yeah,
Last just had mentioned Witches, which I would love to see. I think that one would be incredible as a show or as a movie.
That would be on the CW. That would totally be on the CW.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah, a lot of witches love in the chat. A lot of witches love. Yes, and I would love for them to have Miles somewhere. But as I said, I think on Comic Talk a few weeks ago, I don't want to see another damn Spider-Man origin movie. And I said, I made this joke then, and I will make it now. How many Uncle Bens have to die? We get it. I'm so done. Just
Birds of Prey. To reference, I love The Huntress. But
who said The Huntress?
No. Well, it says someone said Birds of Prey, and I said I would love that because I love The Huntress.
The Huntress,
and then, Black Canary, Huntress, and Oracle. Although, if spoilers for those, for Arrow, they may be going into that direction already. So.
I thought the same thing, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It had already been theoried before when they introduced this character, and I think now they've just seriously set it in stone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would actually love to see Constantine come back for another season. I loved it. I thought Matt Ryan was fantastic, and I think it ended way too early. I think it was finally starting to hit its mark and getting really good, and they just canceled it.
Did you see him in the Arrow episode?
I didn't yet because I'm so far behind, but I'm really looking forward to getting to that
You're
episode.
good.
Yeah.
That episode actually had me wanting to watch Constantine.
I loved it.
Yeah.
A lot of people compare it to Supernatural, and I think it is, but it's also different in a kind of way. I really enjoyed it. As far as new shows, I would love to see a Young Avengers, maybe Netflix series or something, because I think there's so much diversity in that team, and it would be really great to see them on a screen. I would love to see a Moon Knight show as well. I think that would do really well on Netflix. Yeah.
Well, that's the one thing that I feel like Marvel really gets right about the Netflix shows is that the opportunity to binge watch is like that is so appealing to me. Like I haven't started Supergirl for that very reason that I want to be able to sit down and sort of be immersed in it and then like walk away and have some space from it. I don't have the energy. I barely remember to set my alarm to get up in the morning, much less like I'm going to come home. The only thing I know I watch religiously is The Walking Dead and The Talking Dead, and this is the first season that I've ever watched that in real time. I actually watched, I came to this fandom very late, and I actually watched the first 5 seasons or whatever in 9 days.
Hi.
Because I was unemployed. So, but yeah, I mean, so for me, that's like, I love that opportunity to sit and just like watch it all at one time and then be hyped for the next time it comes back on.
It must be pretty successful for them, being that they continue to like release new content. Like, I'm pretty sure that Netflix itself is probably doing well in Marvel. I mean, they have to have some, obviously they're funding the shows.
Well, and they're not. It's not like they're not. I mean, they're casting actors. David Tennant, Rosario Dawson, who I was reading that is going to sort of keep appearing in all of these, like once they start the Luke Cage and the Iron Fist, and Iron Fist, and that she's going to keep showing up. I mean, it's got to be a pretty lucrative deal to keep drawing them in.
Can I just say how much I fucking love Rosario Dawson too? Because she's so versatile though. She's in so much, and she just seems like she's a nerd at heart too. Like, from being in things like Clerks 2, Sin City, like to appearing in these, it's awesome. I love people that are like that.
Yeah.
Well, and people actors who really do it justice. Who really honor like what the fans. Because we all get crazy about. I really wanted them to cast Linda Carter as Hippolyta in the Wonder Woman movie, and when they came out that it was somebody else, like I was on Facebook on my phone. I was just like, whatever. I was just like, fine. Just cast whoever you want, whoever this lady is. She's probably somebody really good. She'll probably be awesome. But I was so upset. I was like, no, I want it my way, and I think we get like that, and I love when the actors really, really hear the fans. I think that's really important.
It's got to be hard, honestly, to be an actor going into a role that comes from a comic book because of all of the different origins, all of the backstories, like, how are you supposed, like, really, you're going to have 18 years to research or, to go through all of this? There's so much, and you're always going to let somebody down because everybody has an emotional connection to one part of a character. You know what I mean? Like, some people will like this certain arc, or some people will like the way that this artist or this writer wrote for this person, and so it's so hard to be that. So to be able to just find that role and make it your own and like sell it so well, I think is really like such a huge nod to that actor or actress. Like, those people are just, not going to please everybody, obviously, in the comic world. But
do you guys have a character who hasn't been cast yet that you sort of have in your mind who should play them, that you're really emotionally connected to? Who is it, and who would play them? Amanda, how about you?
I can't really think of one off the top of my head, really. I'm surprised. I was surprised when I heard about, well, I guess Harley would be my favorite, but I was surprised when I heard about Margot Robbie, just because I had never seen her in a bunch of stuff. But after I saw her in The Wolf of Wall Street, I was feeling a little bit better. So, and after seeing the new trailer, I'm feeling better towards that. But I can't think of anything that or anyone that hasn't been cast for another movie.
Millie, how about you?
So they haven't cast Iron Fist yet. I would love to see Osric Chow as Iron Fist, as Danny Rand. Because I think he's fantastic. He has a lot of martial arts background, and I think he would be really good. I really like him, so I would love to see him as Iron Fist.
Celia, how about you?
Well, I'm not good at this game. I don't remember actors or actresses' names. So I usually feel pretty indifferent about it until I watch the first episode, and then at that point is when I decide that I do or don't like the way someone is, and I'll be like, oh, hey, I recognize that person from whatever. They suck at this one. I don't like it. But it's just the truth. I don't remember. I don't absorb that information.
Cheska, Mercy, do you guys have anybody?
I know that the Captain Marvel movies been announced. I don't think I remember seeing casting news, but after seeing Mad Max, I really have a hard time imagining anyone but Charlize Theron playing Carol Danvers. I mean, holy shit, like that would be absolutely perfect casting. Pay her money.
Yeah. Kickstarter.
There we go.
What do we have to do? How about you, Mercy?
That'll be really hard because it's like when I hear somebody that they're casted, I don't, like I'll be like, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this, but like at the top of my head, I don't have anybody. But like, I'm just gonna have an example, like with the Wonder Woman lady. I can't remember her name.
Gal Gadot.
But I know their faces.
Right.
But like with her, at first when I saw her not in the outfit, like I couldn't see her as Wonder Woman.
Right.
But then seeing her and seeing her in the trailer, I was like, all right, I think I can get past that and see her as a Wonder Woman. But other than that, I don't have anybody else.
Andrea?
I don't really know a lot of actresses' names either. I like Charlize Theron. She's good in like every movie I've ever seen her in. Other than that, I have no thoughts. Because I don't pay attention to who's in what.
Of course, I would love to see Zatanna on screen, but I just don't know who I think would do her justice. I don't know. Me, that's who I want to play her. No.
Yeah, most of the time I like I said, I just don't care. As long as Kristen Stewart doesn't play any of them, I'm okay. She's like the worst. Like unless I meet somebody that looks panicky and breathes weird in between her lines, I don't care.
Can you imagine the riot that would happen if she got cast as like anybody?
Gwenpool.
Yes! Oh my gosh! My animosity for Gwenpool is real. Seriously. Yeah, she can play Gwenpool.
Actually, I would like to see a Dazzler, but I don't know who would play her.
That's always the thing. We get so like emotionally connected to the characters that we like. Then we're like, who's gonna play that? Like nobody's gonna do it justice,
Well, actually, what about turning the tables around? What is a character that like you have been really impressed with their performance as? Like I would say honestly, or like even appearance-wise, I would say Patrick Stewart as Professor X was the most amazing and spot-on casting they could have ever chosen.
Yeah, well, I'm going to say Heath Ledger as Joker because nobody thought the guy from 10 Things I Hate About You is
right.
It's incredible. I don't think I would have. Yeah, I mean, he's probably my favorite Joker. So, and that's saying a lot because Jack Nicholson was good too.
I have to say I was so jaded after the Daredevil movie with.
No.
I have it on DVD.
I was like,
you are a fan.
You are.
You can do it.
Hashtag Millie goals, because I don't, like, I don't think I've ever forgiven him for that. So, like, I was like, oh no. And so when Netflix was doing the series, I'm like, well, it can't be worse than the movie. And then I was like a crackhead, and I've watched it like 3 times from beginning to end. And so that for me, I was so glad. I'm like, oh, it feels like it how it should have been, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably be super skeptical of John Bernthal as the Punisher, but I like him, so I imagine that I'll probably be a little more forgiving. Now, if Affleck ruins Batman, which y'all just be paying attention for stories of arson in Oklahoma, 'cause it's probably me.
Well, it's like Ryan Reynolds. Everybody was so skeptical before the trailers came out because it was Green Lantern and stuff, but his like comedic timing is so perfect, and I don't think anybody really, you know, as soon as the trailer came out, I think everybody got on board with like, yes, this works, this is good, this is organic, like these two are made for each other.
I was just thinking that.
Yeah. So.
Talking about Daredevil, I followed the news so closely when they were in like production and pre-production and everything, and when they cast Charlie Cox, I was actually very, very nervous because I hadn't seen him in anything, and just the look of him, he didn't look like Matt Murdock to me, especially because of the hair. It's not, you know, the orange hair and stuff, or the red head. So I was very nervous, but then they released some pictures of him with the suit and the cane and the glasses and everything, and I got more, I felt better about it. And then when the show came out, and just like that very first scene where he's beating up the guys and saving the girls and everything, I was like, all right, this is exactly what I want, and it was so perfect. And yeah, I've seen that show so many times. I think I've lost count.
Yeah, I was the same. I was the same way. I was like, okay, from the first minute. And then somebody texted me and said, "Are you watching?" Or somebody Facebook messaged me and said, "Did you see that there's a Netflix Daredevil series?" And I was like, "I'm on episode 5. Leave me alone."
Yeah. Yeah. I was up at 3 in the morning when they got released and watched it all until like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I did not stop. I binge watched the whole thing from 3 in the morning. I was so into it.
Awesome. So do you guys go to any cons? Like, I'm always curious because I'm having my first experience. So I like to hear what everybody's experiences have been. Like, what books have you gotten signed, if you've gotten any?
I went to my local con. I live in upstate New York, and it's very cold and very boring, so there was not a lot there. I mean, there was, I don't know, it was just really weird and sketchy. We won tickets, actually, so we kind of just went and walked around, but it was nothing exciting. But we did go last summer to, it's not a con, but it's called RTX. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. And there was a lot of people there that cosplayed, even though it was all video game related.
Yeah.
So I had a good time seeing all the cosplayers.
Cool.
RTX is like my dream con. I would love to go.
Oh, that's awesome.
This year will be my 4th time going to Wizard World Philly Comic Con. And I love it. Every year it gets bigger and bigger, and it's just so awesome. Seeing all the cosplay, the good prices on books, since my comic book store doesn't really lower the prices on back issues. I got the first issue of Young Avengers signed by Jim Chung, the artist. I think I got a Daredevil book signed by Michael Golden, and then a print signed by him as well. I've gotten a few books. I can't remember exactly. I'd have to go through my boxes to remember. I also went to the Greater Philadelphia Comic Con, which is kind of a smaller con near us, and got some books and got some pictures. I got pictures with Jonathan Frakes and oh gosh, who else did I get pictures with? I can't even remember now. And then I went to, not really a con, but I went to Chud, which is comics here under $1. So all the comics were $1 and under, which was awesome. Yeah.
Is it like a bunch of people that go and like have their stuff all set out?
Yeah, it was a comic book. It was a comic book store in Maryland that was running it, and there was just long boxes and long boxes of almost everything that you could imagine was there, and everything was $1 and under, and it was so cool. Yeah.
That's awesome. I wonder, like, because when people talk about they got books at cons, like digging through stuff, I just wonder how they have time to do that. Like with everything that's going on, like how do you have time to like bump through like crowds of people and look through boxes of comic books? Like it just seems really difficult to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think one of the most important things about going to a con is making a schedule and trying to manage your time as well as possible. Because what I usually do is I usually go, if I get photo ops, they're at a set time, so you have to kind of plan around that. I usually go for like signatures first. Then if I have a photo op, then kind of in between stuff, I go through the long boxes and everything, try and find stuff. So I think making a schedule is really important, especially if you're getting photo ops or autographs from any celebrities or anything.
Yeah, I think that because I've heard people say too, like waiting until like Sunday to kind of go through stuff is a good time too, because there's not as many people, and they're trying to sell stuff, so their things can go down to be cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like at Emerald City there's so many people that it's really overwhelming, like who I want to see, because I am obsessed with this show iZombie. I love it. I just started picking up the comic books too, and like pretty much the entire cast is gonna be there. And I am so, like, I want to see everybody. I want to try and lick all of them. And I feel like I'm not going to be able to do that and also see, like, Fiona Staples. And, you know, I want to get my Lovable Oaf book signed. And, you know, I have all these dreams, and I just want them all to come true.
Celia, do you have the iZombie? Do you have all the comics for it?
I don't. I just started picking them up. So
no, I was going to say, I have the 4 trades. I'll send them to you.
Really?
Yeah, because I upgrade to the Omnibus, and I have those. I will totally send those to you.
Oh, yay!
Good shit comes out of the show.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's actually changing. So it was called Big Wow Comic Books. Or Big Wow Comic Fest, excuse me. And it's now changing to Silicon Valley Comic Con. But I've gone and I've met Adam Hughes and Greg Rucka and Michael Lark, and I've just had them sign stuff. And I think, you know, you guys are absolutely right. Having a schedule and just, like, looking ahead of time, okay, these are the people that I want to prioritize, and these are the people that, like, if I happen to meet them, cool. If not, then, like, no harm lost. And something else I've learned is, like, bring food. Like, sometimes we're not just
and lots of water.
Yeah, you'll be stuck in a line, and then you're like, okay, I really don't want to leave. Like, I'm lucky that, like, when it was Adam Hughes' line was, like, ridiculously long. And I remember my fiance was, like, awesome enough. He stood in line for, like, 3 hours. I went and there's an inker for Fables called Steve Layola. He drew me a custom picture. It was my birthday, and I was like, and he wasn't even charging anything. And I was like, oh, heck no, dude. Like, I'm going to give you money, and I'm going to buy this book, too. Like, that is so awesome. And so I went. He drew me an entire, like, picture, and the line still had barely moved for Adam Hughes. Like, I felt so bad for him, but everyone is so nice. Like, I talked about it in the comic chat a little bit. There are, like, some people that just don't really care about their fan base a whole lot. Like, they'll charge money for autographs or for signatures, and they, you know, barely blink an eye at you. But I think for the most part, people are so excited to be there to share, like, you know, the geekiness and talk about things and I haven't really come across anyone that was rude. It can get kind of stinky because it's like a lot of people congested. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, it's gross. But other than that, I really haven't had a negative experience at one yet. I have gone to San Diego Comic-Con, which was amazing, and that was a little overwhelming because so many people wait, like, for days to get into some of the panels. But that would be about the only negative about that. Other than that, it was gorgeous. It was so much fun.
I'm really excited.
You're gonna have a blast.
I think I'm gonna try to attend the Dallas Fan Expo, and it's this summer. So for free comic book day at my local shop, I'm going to try out my cosplay and just make sure that it's comfortable and how long can I wear it without like being irritated and being like homicidal. And then if it isn't, then I'll just go and just regular clothes and try something else. But that for me is I'm excited, but that's would be the thing that I'm the most amped about, is that I want to actually like take cosplay to the next level and that sort of thing. So that would be the thing that I would be the most concerned about for me, is how long can I wear the costume without killing somebody or just like setting myself aflame. Like just okay, I'm done, I'm over it. You know, that for me is going to be the biggest thing. And if I was actually joking with Marty that if to have Ray Jr. dress up as Nick Fury and Marty has a Captain America costume.
Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be fun? And then I was like, oh, like
or even Agent Coulson
or something. I was like, I'll dress up as She-Hulk, like, and then we can like all go. We can all go to Dallas Fan Expo together. So I don't know. I don't really know that I'm up for green body paint.
Yeah. Has anybody? Did we already talk about if you have cosplayed? I think we did, didn't we? Because that's.
I cosplayed as the 11th Doctor for the first 2 years I went to Wizard World Philly Comic Con, because I'm a pretty big Doctor Who fan. Last year I didn't cosplay as anything, but this year, when I was in the Harry Potter world in Florida, I actually got my Hufflepuff sweater and tie. So I'm going to go as a Hufflepuff with my wand and everything. So I'm really excited about that.
That's perfect.
Oh, I actually have Bellatrix's wand back there somewhere. Yeah, back there somewhere.
Oh, that's the one that you made, right?
Yeah, my nephew, my sister and her wife, Harry Potter, is really big in their family, and with their son turned a year, he's a little ginger, and his little best friend came as Harry, and they dressed him up as Ron, and my name is Amy, but he couldn't say it, so he calls me Mimi, and Mimi dressed up as Bellatrix. And we made wands, and then actually at the party, once you got sorted, you went to Ollivander's, and we had made all these custom wands. But my sister's a hardcore nerd too, and we went to like the Harry Potter wiki and looked up the actual like specifications for the actual wands, and we made them out of paper and hot glue to the specifications of the characters. My sister played Sirius Black, and I played Bellatrix, and we went to Target to get charcoal for the grill, and we had a wizard's duel in charcoal, and in Target, and I killed her, and then
that's accurate.
She like fell to the floor, and I just skipped around Target saying, I killed Sirius Black, I killed Sirius Black, and there was like this little housewife in Target. She had no idea what was going on. She just started like clapping. And we were like, thank you. Sorry, lady. I had this big wig on. It was like humongous. Oh, it was terrible. But yeah. So
someone was asking about top 10 comic list for this year, if anybody has one. I personally don't really collect like that. Like, I don't have specific issues that I'm in search of for any particular reason. Like, I have runs that I'm trying to pick up, but so I don't really have like a top 10, and I don't even have like my books organized. Like, I know that some people use software and stuff, and I am not that fastidious about my books. But I know that I'm working on like the New Gods books. I really want to get into those, and there's a few Green Goblin older issues that I would like to get a few covers. nothing too early because it's ridiculously expensive. But for the most part, I'm just looking forward to the indie books that have been coming out because those seem to be the ones that have been like really taking my heart. Like, because I love reading my books, so that's what I'm excited for. Is like the new stuff that's been coming out. It's just really cool. For a long time, I felt like indie books were kind of creepy and like a lot of nudity, and I kind of like steered away from them. And that's probably my own ignorance of not picking up the books. But lately, like the ones that I've been looking at, like just randomly picking up a cover and opening it up, I've just had like so much luck. Like I feel like I strike gold almost every time I grab an indie book. So I'm just excited for ones that are coming out. But does anybody else have like books that they have on their list, like a top 10? Like I know that there's like kind of a trend of videos that have been going out, you know, of everyone's top 10 because of the new year, but
like top 10s like that we want to get, or like top 10s like we're looking forward to?
Well, I think that kind of what I've seen, how people are doing that is like people that have like certain books on their list, like key issues or things like that, or ones that are, I think it's whatever it means to you, honestly. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of different variations of it. So
yeah. So are there 10 comic books that you're looking forward to?
Yes, like 10 to the 10th power, probably. I think for me, because I haven't really until the last year, because until the summer, I was like exclusively like Comixology because I was in a studio apartment in Oakland. There was where am I going to put everything? Like hanging it from the exposed pipe, like there was nowhere. There's like no place to put it.
I
So
didn't realize you were here like that soon. Like
I moved back. I moved back to this part of the country not even a year ago. But I was in Oakland for a while. So so I was exclusively Comixology. So now for me, I'm just so excited to go get books. You know, I'm still behind on reading them, but I'm just so excited to get them. That's the one thing I will say is that when I was buying exclusively digitally, I feel like I read more than I do now. I think what happens is I go and I pick them up, and then I'm so worried about something happening to them. I board and bag them, and I put them in the box, and like, oh, I'll get to it, and then I just never get to it. And I think that's probably why I keep cutting back my pull list, because I keep thinking my pull list is getting smaller, but my stack to read never goes down. So anything Black Canary, that's my top 10.
I want to get into Black Canary too because you've been talking about it so much. I'm like, hey, I need to check her out.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And you look like the DC Bombshells version of her. Like, it's so frightening. I'm like, I mean, I have like mixed emotions because we're friends, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with that information. Well, that's the same. I mean, it's the same thing to me. Like, I see Celia, and I'm like, how could Celia cosplay anything other than Wonder Woman? Like, that hair and those beautiful eyes, and I just think, how can, like, I don't know. Like, I'm fortunate to have, like, the world's, like, prettiest friends.
The bottom half of me begs to differ with her outfit.
Yeah, that's me too.
We have just about 15 minutes left in our discussion. And was there anything from the chat, Celia, that you've seen that anybody would like to know? Is the chat active? Do they like us? Do they hate us?
The chat is active. It's active. And I think that we've kind of covered like the direct questions. I've been trying to keep an eye on it. It's kind of difficult. I don't know how you've been doing this on Sundays. Here we have, how does the panel feel about the DC rebooting their entire lineup of comics?
It's fine for me as someone who's starting to get into stuff, because then if I want to pick it up and start reading it, there's new runs of it that I can just grab and finish and not be like, well, where do I start? This is so overwhelming. So I think it's a good thing for especially new collectors.
Yeah.
Or new
I
readers.
think DC
really.
rebooting it isn't bad because they've only done it once so far. Marvel's, I think, the worst offender of that because they're doing it yearly, sometimes every couple months. I think that's a little bit more difficult because, like, why even bother starting a series when, 6 months down the line you're going to get some new material? And sometimes you want continuity, but I think that there was so many. I mean, there was 600 odd issues of What Batman, so I think for a lot of people it was refreshing to start and see it from the beginning with a really excellent series.
Yeah, that was the thing for me. Like when you have like a volume 1 and it's like 6 to 10 issues and you're just sort of getting into the meat of it, and then you reboot and you're in volume 2 and you're like, oh, whoa, wait, like is that it? Like was okay? Oh, okay. Moving forward, you have to sort of like reset your mind around that. And I know Andrea in particular, you're not as superhero oriented as the way some of us are, so a new run of something gives you an opportunity to find your superhero that you would kind of really be into.
Right, that's why, that's like probably why I like Doctor Strange, is because that new run of it had just started to come out and Celia had said something about it and I was like, well, it says strange, I might like it because I usually like strange things. And I was like, okay, I can read this book about a superhero, because that's one of the things that I told the guys in the comic book shop when I went in there. I was like, I do not like superheroes. Don't show me a superhero book. So they showed me a lot of indie stuff, which was really cool. So it just kind of spirals from there, I think. But
I have a question. Well, kind of. So, I feel like, what comics did we read this week? Did anyone else read that Poison Ivy book?
I haven't even picked up. I got to go tomorrow and pick up Pulls for 2 weeks. I actually just finished Paper Girls from 3 weeks ago.
Okay, well, anyone wondering, Poison Ivy was really good. It's
I'm really behind on that too.
Yeah, and for everyone that, likes, we have the Harley, and then we have, does anyone read Gotham Academy?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys will definitely enjoy Poison Ivy. There are some nice cameos.
I read Captain Marvel #1, which I really, really enjoyed. It was so good. Yeah, her hair's awesome. But I enjoyed it. I really like Chris Anka's art, and the way he drew Carol so strong, and she had like really awesome abs, and I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. That's the Carol I want to see. So cool. And Miss Marvel I read, which is really good, and yeah.
Oh, she's my favorite.
Yeah.
She's
awesome.
my favorite from the Marvel Universe. That's the hip-hop variant that I regret not being able to get, because I love the miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and then I love that character. Yeah.
I'm sad they wasted the Old Dirty Bastard cover on Howard the Duck.
Seriously.
The first one was pretty.
I bought it, but I was so
Howard the Duck.
really? All right.
I mean, the correlation is not lost on me between the Old Dirty Bastard and Howard the Duck. The irony is not lost, however, ODB deserves better. I might tip out a 40 for my homie because he deserves better than Howard the Duck.
Is anybody reading Scarlet Witch?
Yes.
So I'm not super familiar. I know that there's a lot of backstory between like her and Doctor Strange, but do you think these two stories, are they in any way going to cross? Because I know that she's been in like that little bar in the Doctor Strange book. I've
not read Doctor Strange, so I don't know about that, but I know. I mean,
because there's like this wizard's lounge that he hangs out at, and she's been like sitting there at the table and stuff, but they seem to be having like, there's like imbalances in both of the books, and they're both in like New York. So I'm just curious if those paths are going to intersect at any point, or.
Well, in the latest issue, she was in Greece, I think, and she was in a cafe, but I don't think it was like a wizard's cafe. Although,
I only read the first issue when she was looking out at Manhattan skyscraper or whatever, and she saw like the different auras and stuff.
Yeah, I don't. So far, she has not. She has not intercepted with him. I think she mentioned him though, but I don't recall because she was in Greece.
Because I'm curious if these guys are on the same time, like if it's at the same time or in the same, you know what I mean? Like,
That'd be kind of cool though. I mean, they do it so often where they have cameos in each other's books. I think it'd be kind of cool, but I'm not. I have no idea because I don't read Doctor Strange. I probably should because I actually like the character, and I think
the character is the story is really good. I mean, it's not super caught up in like a bunch of, you know, like magic talk and all. It's like a really easy book to go through and to understand. And I felt myself getting a little lost in like the second, because they were kind of going into like the bigger story a little bit at the end. You know what I mean? Like the higher plot was like just a little snip at the end, and I felt myself like losing that every time I would start reading the other one. I would forget about that little snippet, and then I'd have to go back and read it, and then read the other one. But it's been really good. Like the art is really cool. The character, I love the way he's just like this, like really nonchalant hipster that's fighting love, magic, and just like whatever. I'm too cool for school.
There's a series, a Doctor Strange series. I can't remember who the writer is, but it's drawn by Emma Rios, and it's really pretty. It's an awesome. I think it's like an origin story, and I read it I think last year, and that was pretty cool. I think that was probably my first introduction like of the character. I mean, I knew who Doctor Strange was, but that's probably the first material I've read of him.
Well, I just read the small. It's the Witches. It was a little 4-book miniseries that was. It took a couple of different witches from the Marvel universe, and he was basically like their Charlie.
Oh, I have really.
It's like from the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Like you can tell, like it's very Buffy the Vampire Slayer looking. Like there's some midriff with weird jeans and things like that in the hairstyle. But it was an interesting book. It kind of reminded me too of The Witches of Eastwick. So, but I like him now, even in this, more than I've liked him in anything else that I've read of him. So, and I don't have like an emotional attachment to the character from before or anything. I was super indifferent about it, but yeah, he's really cool. He's cool.
Yeah. I would love to see him in the Scarlet Witch, and I love the Scarlet Witch, and actually they did Amalgam Comics it was her and Zatanna together, and the costume is really, really cool because they both have those like supernatural magic powers, and I love like that. For me, more than superheroes is kind of more what I'm like moving towards in my interests.
JLS Comics said that he's very Tony Stark, the new Doctor, or the new Doctor Strange, which I kind of can see that look, like the way that they look, but not really his attitude. Like he's not like a womanizer. He's not arrogant. There's no arrogance at all about him when he's just very matter of fact and nonchalant. Like, well, another day in the life of Doctor Strange. You know, it's not like it doesn't come across as like arrogance to me or egotistical. I don't get any of that feeling from it at all.
Yeah, I think he'll be really good.
Benedict?
Yes, I definitely think that he'll be really good because he was good in the BBC Sherlock show. I mean, he was brilliant in the BBC Sherlock show. And then he did Smaug on Lord of the Rings. So, I don't know. I think he's got that, like, weird, sinister, but also very sophisticated, and I don't know. He's got that thing about him.
I don't know if something is wrong with me or what, but this like little bit of gray that he's got put in, like yes. I was like, oh my,
Mama like
I don't know if I was like feeling my age or what, but I was like, Benedict. You know, it's like really like, oh goodness. And that was the thing, he like looked so much like him.
What you got going on there?
Yeah, seriously. You're not normally my type, but
like as soon as I saw the picture.
But he looked like him, and I was reading some article this week where they were talking about how or he said that something like either his hands were sore, he had been really working really adeptly at making sure that he got that part right, which is so
like the mannerism,
the hand movement. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I got you. You're gonna get my money at opening.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that movie. Like, especially because, like I said, I wasn't invested before, but with this new run, like, I love it. I love him. You should definitely pick it up, Francesca. You say so, like, for the next time having a.
Yeah, I will. I think I will. I think I'll try at least the first episode or the first issue.
We have 5 minutes left. I'd like to give everybody an opportunity to sort of do kind of their last thoughts, their last comments. What if we ever did this again? What would you be interested? Any sort of like final thoughts, especially just anything that you guys would like to say. And instead of starting with Andrea and putting her on the spot all the time, I'm going to start at the opposite end with Amanda.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Oh.
Earlier you said you had an animosity towards Gwenpool, and I was just curious as to why. That's all.
I don't know. Like, I honestly, I think this is the problem, is that, like, oh my God, first appearance of Gwenpool is going to be this dumbass Howard the Duck. So I'm like, a total, like, dangle the carrot in front of the dumb bunny because I jumped for it, and then I get it, and I'm just like, what? I don't care. Like, I have the holiday special. Like, I get why she's, like, fascinating, but I just don't have a connection to her in some way, and so it's not really like animosity. It's really more indifference, and then if I have an opportunity to be sort of bitchy about it, I will, but it's not like I really don't care one way or the other. I'm sure she's fun, and probably if I was younger, I would probably be all about that life, but I think for me, it just is, it's my, just where I'm at. Like, I just look at it and I'm just like, that's fun. It's kitschy, and it's, but it's just not me,
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, thank you for asking me a question.
Yeah.
Anything else that you would like to add? We really appreciate you coming on.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. I just want to say I'm glad that I found a group of girls that share the same interests as I do. Like, I can't remember who mentioned it earlier, but in my town I don't have any female friends that share the same likes that I do, so I'm glad that I met you guys, so thank you.
Yay! Me too.
Yay! Thank you. I'm excited too.
Cheska, how about you? Any final words?
Really just the same thing. I'm just so ecstatic to, have you lovely ladies, to talk to about this stuff. And I mean, I mentioned it in our chat, but I think maybe we can do like a book of the week, just an issue, under $5 or whatever, and we can all just kind of discuss it. I think that would be a fun thing to do, since we're all, everyone here, I think the cool thing about all of us here is we all at least read some form of comics, so it would be nice to have something to actually share.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on and being a part of this. How about you, Mercy? Anything you'd like to end with?
Same here. It's like, the only person that I talk to about comics is my husband, and then on Twitter and YouTube and sometimes Facebook, and, I'm really glad that I came on tonight, and I gotta, spend some time with girl time.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Millie, how about you?
I just want to say thank you guys so much for having me on here. I'm so honored to be a part of this amazing group of females. It's just really amazing. So thank you so much. And I would love to be on again.
Awesome. Before I talk to Andrea and Celia, I just want to personally say thank you so much to Marty and Ray and Comic Book Fanatics and for allowing this to happen. And the reason why I saved Andrea and Celia for last is that these women are more than just this life for me. They're a part of my everyday, and I adore them so much. And I honestly had decided that I was not going to participate in this, and it was the two of them that really were like, their encouragement and their support is even why I've even made 2 videos so far. And so for me personally, thanking Marty and Dre Jr. and the two of them is super important to me that I do that publicly and really acknowledge how important their support has been to me. So I just wanted to say that. So Andrea, do you have any final words or anything that you would like to say?
Yeah, this has been really fun. I'm glad to have more females to talk to about things, because I don't really have anybody in my real life to talk about that kind of stuff either. And I'm really excited to like start getting into new things and getting into comics and kind of finding where my niche is and all of that, and just learning and getting into new stuff pretty much.
And Andrea's channel is also really new like mine, so Nerd Lore is her channel if you want to find her. And my Comic Talk Live partner in crime, my favorite early morning Snapchat buddy, Funkmaster Celia. Do you have anything you would like to say before we sign off?
I think that this chat is important. I think that it can be intimidating. Like, I was super intimidated the first time I was on a panel, and I know, like, Millie's been on a different panel before. Like, it's just sometimes you don't know how things are going to go or what's going to be talked about, and I think that being in such a welcoming and supportive place is really good for everybody, and I love that we have people that are just starting out and people that have huge runs. I feel like that's awesome, and it makes me really happy to be a part of it because every single thing that everyone said has been awesome. Like, I've learned so much in just this, like, small, amount of time, and I am kind of not the most social person. Like, it's hard for me to get out there in my real life. So this kind of situation where I can, like, just sit down in my own home and, I could be wearing sweatpants for all you know, or pajama pants, and
yeah,
I am.
and just connect with the community like this and see everybody's smiles. It's kind of precious, like to find, especially, I can't believe how many girls are like on this panel, like talking, like that's amazing. People are shocked when there's one girl on a panel randomly on YouTube, and we have like the mother of everybody. So, and Amy, you're awesome. You did like such a good job organizing.
Thank you so much.
The whole panel and like keeping the flow and the conversation going. It was the first
Thank you very much.
show, and it felt like I've known all of you guys for so long, and it was just so easy to talk to everybody. So I loved it. Thank you, everybody, for coming on and answering my weird, creepy YouTube messages.
Yes. Honestly, without Celia's legwork, this honestly would not have happened at all. So thank you guys so much for watching. Everybody in the chat who participated, whether you were with us for 5 minutes or the whole entire 2 hours and some change, thank you all for watching and for your questions that contributed. To our friends that don't collect comics but stayed with us to support us, we so appreciate it. Love you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Sheree.
Yeah, hi, Sheree.
Hi, Sheree. It's Cynthia. Cynthia's watching.
Cynthia, yay! To everybody that is in the South and on the East Coast, please stay warm and make sure that you have plenty of dry goods. And the next time that the Femme Fatales take over the Friday Fanatics, we will let you guys know. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.